Have you ever reached for an anti-aging cream or taken vitamins to feel healthier and more energetic? In a world that values youth and vitality, it's easy to understand why so many of us seek ways to defy the relentless march of time. But what if the secret to eternal life came at a terrible cost? Imagine a world where death is not the end, but the beginning of an endless and terrifying journey. In today's video, we are going to explore the hidden costs of living forever and reveal why some would gladly give up their immortality in exchange for a taste of the sweet embrace of death. So buckle up, dear viewer, and prepare to delve into the dark and twisted tales of those who have stared into the abyss of immortality and emerged with a newfound appreciation for the beauty of immortal life. Let's start. Immortality. The ultimate bargain or a curse we can't afford. The quest for immortality has fascinated humans since the dawn of civilization. From the legendary fountain of youth to the mythical elixir of life, we have long been captivated by the idea of living forever. But what if this seemingly ultimate goal was actually a curse in disguise? What if the price of immortality was far more than we were willing to pay? Imagine a world where death is not the end, but the beginning of an endless and terrifying journey. Without the comfort of a finality, every day becomes a struggle to endure, every sunrise a torment. As time stretches on, you find yourself trapped in a prison of your own making, cursed to witness the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of stars, all while remaining unchanged and utterly alone. But the curse of immortality doesn't end there. As you continue to live on, you become a living tomb, carrying with you the weight of your own mortality. Every year that passes, the burden of your endless existence grows heavier, driving you to the brink of madness. Despite the horrors of this fate, there are some who would willingly embrace it, driven by an insatiable desire for power or knowledge. Take, for example, the mythical king Theseus, who, according to legend, was offered immortality by the gods in exchange for his humanity. Unable to resist the allure of endless life, he accepted the offer and was cursed to wander the earth for eternity, forever young, forever alone. But perhaps the most tragic figure in the realm of immortality is Icarus, whose hubris led to his downfall. In his quest to conquer the heavens, he created wings of wax and feathers, only to fly too close to the sun and melt his wings, plunging to his death. Yet even in his final moments, he was granted immortality, condemned to watch the world move on without him. Forever a warning to those who dare to reach for the stars. These stories serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that the pursuit of immortality can be a dangerous game. For what is life without the beauty of a finite existence? What is the point of endless life if it means sacrificing our humanity, our connection to the natural world, and the love of our fellow mortals? The envy of gods. How mortal lives are entwined with immortality. As we continue our exploration of the hidden costs of living forever, let us now turn our attention to the gods themselves and the envy they harbor towards the mortal realm. According to Greek mythology, the gods were forever trapped in their celestial realm, unable to experience the joys and sorrows of human life. This caused them to develop a deep sense of longing and envy towards mortals. Take for example the story of Sisyphus, who was condemned to roll a stone up a hill, only to have it roll down every time he neared the top. Despite his endless toil, Sisyphus was content in his existence, finding purpose and meaning in his actions. This simple act of perseverance and dedication to one's craft was something that the gods could not understand, as they themselves had no such limitations. Another tale that illustrates the envy of the gods is that of Orpheus, the great musician whose music had the power to captivate all who heard it. His skill was so remarkable that even the gods themselves were drawn to his music. And Hades, the god of the underworld, allowed him to bring his lyre with him when he descended into the realm of the dead. However, overwhelmed by the haunting melodies that echoed through the underworld, Hades' wife, Persephone, begged him to stop, and Orpheus was forced to silence his lyre. In doing so, he gave up his chance to ascend to godhood, choosing instead to remain immortal and continue making music that would bring joy to the hearts of men. These stories serve as a reminder that the limitations of the mortal realm are what give rise to its beauty. It is in our struggles, our triumphs, and our creativity that we find meaning and purpose. The gods may envy the mortals, but it is in our shared mortality that we find our greatest strength, paying for forever. The dark truth behind the pursuit of immortality. Let us now turn our attention to the lengths people will go to achieve the impossible dream of living forever. One such tale comes from Chinese mythology, where the alchemist He Jian concocted a potion that granted immortality. However, the secret ingredient in his elixir was the life essence of his own son, a truly horrifying price to pay for eternal life. Similarly, the Aztec Emperor Moctezuma II believed that he could cheat death by drinking the blood of innocent victims. But as his obsession grew, he became increasingly isolated and paranoid, ultimately leading to the downfall of his empire and his own demise. Perhaps the most disturbing example of the lengths people will go to achieve immortality is the case of Jeffrey MacDonald, a real-life cult leader who convinced his followers that he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, and that he could grant them eternal life. MacDonald's followers willingly gave him their money and their children, whom he used in horrific rituals that left many dead or brainwashed. These stories serve as a reminder that the pursuit of immortality can lead to unimaginable horrors. When we become obsessed with the dream of living forever, we risk losing sight of what truly matters in life: our relationships, our values, and our humanity. Is immortality worth the cost? After exploring the dark and twisted tales of those who have sought to cheat death, it's time to ask ourselves, is immortality really worth the cost? From the mythical King Zeus to the real-life cult leader Jeffrey MacDonald, we've seen that the pursuit of eternal life can lead to unimaginable horrors. When we fixate on living forever, we risk losing sight of what truly makes life meaningful: our connections to others, our experiences, and our growth as individuals. As the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once said, "Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." Is this really the existence we want to be trapped in forever? But it's not just the potential consequences of immortality that we should consider. The truth is that death is an integral part of the human experience. It gives meaning to our lives and forces us to appreciate the preciousness of time. It reminds us to cherish our loved ones and to make the most of every moment. In a world where death is not the end but the beginning, as we saw in the myth of Sisyphus, we lose the motivation to strive for excellence. Why bother creating meaningful work or building lasting relationships if none of it will matter in the end? Without the fear of death, we become trapped in a cycle of apathy and despair, unable to find purpose or meaning in an endless and meaningless existence. So the next time you find yourself yearning for immortality, take a moment to appreciate the beauty and fragility of mortal life, embrace the challenges and joys that come with being human, and remember that it is in our shared mortality that we find our greatest strength and our deepest meaning. Don't forget to like the video and comment below if you found it valuable. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.